Hello everyone and welcome back to Life with Liz and Bees. I'm Hunter.
And I'm Sammy, and today's podcast is all about potty training.
Oh goodness, I don't want to talk about
It's
that.
going to be fun, and this was like severely voted on over on Instagram, which is why we're doing this topic before anything else. We just potty trained our almost 2-year-old, and so many people had questions, encouragement, and we want to share with you guys what we did and help you in this journey and give you some encouragement if you're going to start potty training soon. So stick
Absolutely.
with us.
Yeah, stick with us and we'll see you guys on the other side.
So we're going to share with you guys the step-by-step process of what we did to potty train this past week and how many days it took and tips and encouragement. So Hunter, leading up to our journey of starting potty training, what did we do to get Lily prepared to potty train?
Yeah, I mean, we took the first steps of just showing her what it looks like to go to the bathroom on a toilet, what her seat will look like. And the first thing we did, we went and bought a little like toddler step up that like fits her bottom perfectly. Yeah. And so she's able to sit on it. And what we did is every time she would go, start a bath, obviously when you touch hot water or cold water or any kind of water, your natural instinct is to go to the bathroom. Yeah. So what we would do is right before we'd get her in the bathtub, we'd put her on the toilet. Did she ever go? No. Yeah. But our goal was to just show her, hey, this is something that you should do before you get in the bath, or maybe it's something that you do before you go to bed. So we started there, and we just kind of wanted to show her. I mean, we would sometimes too. Like, you would go sit on the toilet, and you'd be like, hey, Lily, look what I'm doing. I'm going to the bathroom right now. Did she care? Probably not. Yeah. But again, it was just steps leading up to the potty training. And we are going to get into this. We're going to talk all about this because, man, it was a rough week for me. I had to do all of it. No, I'm just kidding. This is all Sam. Sam's face when she just looked at me, she was like, well, it was a rough week for you.
It was a rough week for you because you had to listen to my complaining.
I had to get the text in the
training.
middle of the day. I'm like having a good day at work or a bad day at work, and it's just like a really bad text. I'm like, sorry. Yeah. Why did you start this?
But listen, we were in this process together, and there's a lot that we learned and a lot of mistakes that we made through this process. So we want to help you guys not make the same mistakes that we did. And wherever your child's age falls, it really honestly doesn't matter what age they are for you to start potty training. There's something called elimination communication that you can look up and start potty training very early, which is something we're going to do differently with our daughter Layton. Lily is almost 2, so we potty trained her at 23 months old, exactly. And with Layton, we're going to start this process of just doing a better job of making her aware of the toilet, probably between the ages of like 10 to 15 months, so that by the time she's 15 months, she's comfortable going on the toilet. So wherever your child is, hopefully these step-by-step tips are helpful for you in your potty training journey.
Go ahead. Tell us why you wanted to start training our 2-year-old who doesn't like listening to us when she needs to listen to us, or has selective hearing, I would say, for a 2-year-old. Why did you want to move forward with this? Why did you want to do it when I was, at work all week, not during the weekend?
Yeah. So 2 reasons why I felt this immense amount of pressure to potty train right now. My friend, Chris, is a Montessori teacher that is in my women's Bible study group. And one day at Bible study, her daughter, who I believe is 18 months old, was peeing on the toilet. And I was like passing by, and Lily was like at the door, so like I could see in. And I'm like, Lily, get out of the bathroom. Like, there's a little girl going pee. And Chris was helping her daughter go on the toilet. And Chris came out of the bathroom, and I was like amazed. And I literally called her out in front of all of the moms. And I was like, Chris, is Riot potty trained? She's 18 months old. And mind you, none of our kids in the group were potty trained, and they're all older than 18 months. So we're just like amazed. And Chris is like, yeah. And so she starts explaining to us how she, as a Montessori teacher, has potty trained hundreds of kids over the years before the ages of like 18 months.
It's amazing.
And so she starts explaining to us like steps of what we need to do. So I ask her, hey, next week, do you want to come over and help me potty train? And she's like, absolutely, I'll bring the girls, we'll make it a whole fun day. So I'm like, okay, I have to do this. Like, we're doing this because Chris was like, there's something that switches in your child's brain when they hit 2, where they just have so much more independence. They know the power that they hold to say no, to throw a tantrum, to get their way. So if you can try to get this handled before that stage, you're putting yourself in a way better position.
Does that mean this is bad if you're trying to potty train after 2?
No, it doesn't mean that it's bad. I mean, I've talked to moms all the time that wait closer to 2.5 and 3. It just means that you're accepting you're changing a diaper for a lot longer. And Hunter and I couldn't stand changing this kid's diaper anymore. We were at the point where she was showing the signs of readiness. The signs of readiness were pulling at her diaper, taking her diaper off, hiding while she was pooping or peeing, being embarrassed by it. She was showing signs that she was ready. And when she pooped or peed and we changed her diaper, she was like an alligator we had to wrestle.
Yeah.
It was so hard for us. So we're like, okay, we're done with this. And the cost of diapers, like, let's just eliminate that too. So again, you can potty train at whatever point you feel comfortable with. For us, we felt like now is the time to do this. She's showing the signs and let's go for it. So I took it upon myself to potty train at home while Hunter was at work because I cherish our weekend time together, and you have to be inside for at least 3 to 4 days, no outings when you're potty training. So I was like, it's better for me during the week to be stuck inside with the girls for 3 to 4 days than for our whole weekend to be stuck inside while we want to be out doing fun things as a family.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
When we go, well, I guess it's going to be different when we do it with Leighton because we're going to start it at a super young age. But do you regret not just waiting for me on the weekend? Because we ended up staying home that weekend anyways. And
I do regret it. And that was one of the things that I was going to mention is that you absolutely should not start potty training without your spouse.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you should not. I took it upon myself to do this. And even though I had my friend Chris come over for like a few hours on that first day, once she was gone, I was all on my own. And I will say, if you only have one child you're potty training, actually you could do it. Yeah. Like, the reason it was so hard for me is I have a 8-week-old plus a toddler that I'm trying to run to the toilet while most of the time the 8-week-old is strapped to my chest. So I'm wrestling a toddler to take her to the toilet while an 8-week-old is attached to me. So it was exhausting. I was beat up. I was defeated. I was
had a lot of mental breakdowns.
So many mental breakdowns. And we're going to get into like why. But my best thing that I learned and biggest piece of advice when you're starting this process is don't do it alone. Unless you just have one kid. I truly think you could do it without your spouse with one. But if you have 2 kids, have your spouse there to be able to help. And it's better for your kid to get comfortable with them as well, showing them how to use the toilet. And also it's easier for me to model for my girls how to use the toilet because we're the same gender, so we have the same body parts. But if it was my husband potty training the girls, it's going to be a lot harder.
So it's a lot different, right?
If we have a boy, it's going to be a lot easier for my husband to potty train our boy than me to do it. You know?
I'm going to show him Big Daddy style. We're going to go to the side of the restaurant and right there.
No, you're not going to do that. But all I'm saying is whatever the gender of your child is, like if you're a mom and you have a boy, it may actually be easier for your husband to help a lot more with that process. Yeah. So have your spouse be a part of it.
Don't underestimate that though either. I mean, if you have 2 girls, absolutely your husband can help because he can take the other one, you know?
Yes, so. And you helped so much. Don't do it by yourself. Don't be stubborn like me and try to handle it all on your own and not ask for help. Ask for help, okay? So I'm going to share with you what we did day 1 when we started potty training last Tuesday. We're not even 2 weeks into this.
Yeah, and let me start with what I did. So I woke up that morning and went to work.
So Hunter went to work and I woke up and I was like, today's the day. Here we go. So what I did is I purchased underwear that I knew that Lily would like off of Amazon.
For you or for her?
For her.
Oh, okay.
And if you can get your child more engaged in the process, I honestly wish that I would have taken Lily to like Walmart and she could have picked it out herself and seen the underwear, picked the colors and the patterns that she wanted, but we didn't have time for that because I made this decision like within a few days that I was going to do it. So,
I didn't like this decision. It was having your little girl being underwear for the first time. It's just okay weird for a dad. I'm like, it's just what weird. Is happening?
You're like, where's the diaper?
Go back to diapers.
Like, you're a big kid
You need to wear diapers until you're 18 and then you can
I know, it's just this weird mental shift where you're like, oh my gosh, they're not a baby anymore. They're growing up. So I bought her underwear. It was very weird and emotional for me and Hunter. I got it all ready. And when she woke up, I went in her room and I said, Lily, today is the day that we are going to start using the potty. this is underwear. And I basically gave her like a demonstration and explained to her what underwear is, why we're going to use it. I let her pick out which pattern she wanted. And I said, okay, no more diapers. Diapers are gone. I literally grabbed the diapers and I hid them. And I'm like, we're not using these anymore. We're going to use the potty. And so I took her over to the potty and got her undressed, put her on the potty, and showed her, you know, the process of, okay, that morning, actually, she had poop in her diaper. And I think this is really important when you start potty training. Anytime there's poop in the diaper, you take it to the bathroom and you empty the poop into the diaper so that they can see that's where it goes.
Yeah, and that's typically what we do with you every morning whenever you know, you wake up and I'm like, Sam, listen, you can't do this.
Are you just going to make jokes the
listen,
entire time?
That's what I'm here for, because this is what I'm here for. I'm here to make jokes on this podcast, on this episode, so I can
Because if Hunter wasn't making jokes, I'd just be the talking
she would just go
right
the whole
now.
time. So
Hunter's
that's what I'm here for.
Jokes.
I'm going to make jokes this episode, and we're going to let Sam take over because she took over the potty training by herself. So
but Hunter's
I still
here
have
for
a little
good
bit
laughs
of input,
and a good time. So
yeah, absolutely.
He's going to be chiming in with funny jokes to me, apparently.
Yeah, no, for
throughout
sure.
this journey. So you're going to show them that the poop goes in the toilet so that they can understand. I mean, the whole thing about potty training is helping them understand where poop and pee goes. So they need to see and be a part of that process. So after you do that, okay, and they're throwing a tantrum, pitching a fit, like, why are you putting me up on the toilet? This is another reason why Hunter and I shared in the beginning. It's super important to spend a lot of time just getting them comfortable with the toilet leading up to this big transition. So while they're still in diapers, when you see those signs that they're pooping, right, it's really easy to tell when a baby's pooping because, like, they strain, they push, they make red faces, and you're like, oh, they're pooping. Don't be lazy as a parent like Hunter and I were, where we're just like, oh, they're pooping. Could we take them to the toilet right now? Yes, we wouldn't. Take them. Because it just starts to register for them at a young age. This is where it goes. So when you actually eliminate diapers and say today's the day, they're not scared of the toilet. Lily was scared of the toilet. She's like, don't put me up here. I'm petrified. I'm scared. I don't know what this means. It's all brand new for them. And so there's a lot of emotions and there's going to be a lot of tantrums. So just get ready for having to manhandle your toddler to get them comfortable with the toilet. So after you put their underwear on, don't put pants on. Just put their underwear on, because it's going to be a lot easier for you when it's time to take them to the toilet to just drop the underwear than it is to drop pants and underwear. So just do underwear. And
accidents too. Like if they have an accident, you don't want to have to worry about cleaning those pants. You just want to worry about those underwear that need to be cleaned, and you can get rid of those.
Yeah, because then there's just too many layers to have to clean. So just do the underwear. You're going to be staying at home, and it's just a lot easier. Then you're going to start your day. Keep it normal. You know, you're stuck inside for the next 3 to 4 days. So come up with things and activities to do. I was mentally prepared to be playing games, reading books. I think I picked one movie a day for us to watch because I didn't want her to just be in front of the TV all day. Because when you're just sitting in front of the TV all day as a toddler, you unconsciously could just be zoned into something and then pee and not register that you're releasing and that muscle and it's time to go. So I wanted to do things with Lily like playing outside, reading books, playing with toys. So we had a lot of different activities, but I filled up her water to the brim because she just drinks a lot of water. She doesn't really drink anything else. So you want to get them water, their favorite drink, whatever it is they love, and you want to be giving it to them all day.
A little bit of coffee,
long.
Get the caffeine going so they can take a morning poop. You know how it is.
Don't give that to your toddler. That's for us as adults.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not for the toddler.
All right.
But
maybe a sip.
Yeah, Savvy Sips definitely regulates everything for me. Okay, so you want them drinking a ton all day long because you want to give plenty of opportunities to go, right? You don't want them to just drink a little bit and then not have to go. So you just want to be giving them fluids all day long so you can have a ton of opportunities. Then what you're going to do, and this is what we did, is we set timers for every 20 to 30 minutes on day one. And we set an alarm. So every 20 to 30 minutes, there was like a fun song or a fun alarm that went off. And it was like, oh my gosh, Lily, it's time to go to the potty. Like our potty alarm went off. Come on, let's go. And we'd make it a game.
Okay, Miss Rachel, get after it.
We'd make it a game. And I'd be like, Lily, chase me. Come on. Who can get to the toilet faster? And we'd literally just like, we'd run to the toilet. And so that helped ease the like anxiety and the fear and the tantrums around it. I mean, granted, the second we got to the bathroom, she was like, and then she'd throw the tantrum. But at least it helped ease up to the transition, and we made a whole game out of it. So if she was hesitant to go, I was like, Lily, do we want to skip? Do we want to hop? Do we want to jump to the toilet? What do we want to do? And then we'd start jumping together. So you just like have to make it fun for your kid to want to get to the toilet, so you don't have to make them scared to go. So if they resist or throw a tantrum, do it anyways. Okay, people may disagree with me on this, but on day 1, I did it anyways. If she fell to the floor and she was screaming or throwing a tantrum, I picked her up and I took her to the toilet very gently and kindly, but I said, it's time to go to the toilet. And even though she may not have had to go, the whole point of this is you're getting them comfortable with something they're scared of. She's scared of it. So I need her to just go as many times as she can to get comfortable with it. So we just repeated that process every 30 minutes. It doesn't matter if they actually go on the toilet or not on day 1. Expect for them not to go. Have very, very, very low expectations and just anticipate that they're probably not going to go. They're going to sit there. They're going to scream. They're going to cry. And what you can do in that moment is try to make it fun and lighthearted and help them relax. So
that's what I typically do when I eat Mexican. The first time I was like, man, I don't know what I'm getting into, you know? It's scary, right? And you do it. And then you continue to do it.
I can't believe the things that you're coming up with in your head while you're sitting there.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I remember the first time eating Mexican in Taco Bell, and I was just like...
I was just about to say, it's just freaking Taco Bell.
Like, you weren't expecting it. And then now it's like, I'm excited to eat Taco Bell.
I don't eat Taco Bell or Chinese food because you're just going to be on the toilet forever.
But you practice it so many times and you prepare yourself for it, right? So the first time's always scary.
Okay, so we have to make it fun, right? So how do we make it fun? So there's a few things that you can do on the toilet to have them to relax, okay? One thing that I did is I'd be like, Lily, stop crying. Shh, 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 shh. Lily, be quiet. When you're quiet, you can hear the pee coming out. And so literally I would hold her because she'd need like a hug to calm down. And I would whisper in her ear, like, psst, so it would be like a sound of pee coming out. And I'd say, shh, 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 we're going to hear the pee coming out. Come on. And even though she wouldn't go, it was just to get her to calm down and to try to focus on something else. And so you're just trying to help your kid in that moment de-escalate from being scared. So that's one of the things that I did. Second thing that I did to help her relax is give her a book. So we'd get her favorite books and we had them right there. And I'd give her books and we'd, do the pop-up books, whatever books she loved to just try to relax. Third thing we did is I'd get a cup of hot water and I'd be like, Lily, touch the water. Because like Hunter said, when you get in a bath or you touch water, sometimes it makes
you're stimulating that
sphincter muscle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, so it makes you want to release. So I would do that sometimes. Because I would hug Lily a lot while she was sitting on the toilet. You can also rub their lower back. Apparently that like kind of tickling of rubbing of their back could make them also have to pee. The whole point of day 1 is you just want to try to get them to go once. If you can just try to get them to release a little bit on that first day, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is the whole point of the toilet. Because the second that they actually go, even just a little bit, even if it's just like a trickle of pee, you're going crazy. You're going, oh my gosh, you peed, you did it. And you're making a huge deal out of it. And then you're showing them the next step, which is, okay, we're going to wipe, we're going to throw it in the toilet, we're going to flush, and now we're going to go. So now we don't have to sit in the bathroom anymore. We don't have to sit in the toilet. Let's go play a game. So the whole point is you're making a huge deal out of them actually going. But just have very low expectations that they're probably not going to go on the first day. Lily did not. Lily actually did not pee at all on the toilet that very first day. She had no releases on the toilet. What she did have is 15 accidents. 15 accidents. So that was fun to have to deal with. I'm still dealing with the trauma. The trauma
I can
of that
see
day.
it in your face.
Of that day. Okay, this is why you don't do potty training without your spouse.
Yeah.
Because every accident we had to clean up together while I also had an 8-week-old in my arms.
No accidents at my work, by the way. We were good there.
I'm very happy for you.
No
I'm glad you know
there.
how to use the toilet. That's important.
Well, I wasn't referencing me. I was referencing the 300 people that, work there.
Oh, okay. Well,
no
that's
accidents.
good too.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Just know that.
All right. No shame. We're not casting any shame.
No shame.
It's fine. Okay. So we're going to talk about accidents in a second. So I'm not going to dive into deep with accidents, but what I want to share, what was super helpful, I think, on that first day is I modeled to Lily every time I had to pee. I was drinking just as much water as she was because I wanted to model for her almost every hour or so the process. So every single time that I felt like I had to pee, it was, Mommy has to pee. Let's go to the bathroom. Come on, let's watch Mommy pee. So she was excited to see me in her shoes, basically. So it wasn't like all this pressure put on our toddler to have to pee. It was like, look, Mommy can do it too. It's normal. It's natural. It's fine. It's not weird. We're going to get on the toilet and we're going to go pee. So every time I had to go, I did the whole process, and I wanted Lily to watch, because when you bring your toddler into the bathroom, they get distracted by all the things, right? Lily would go over to the toilet paper and start going like this. So I moved it so she couldn't do that. She'd go over to want to flush the toilet. She'd go over to want to get in the bath. So when it was Mommy's time to pee, it was, come on, you have to be super quiet and you have to listen because the pee's going to come out. And she'd laugh and she'd smile and she'd think it's hilarious. And then I would celebrate myself and make a huge deal about it. I'd do the whole process and be like, look, Mommy peed. Mommy can do it. You can do it too. So Mommy just finished and now it's your turn. So we did on that first day so much of, okay, it's Mommy's turn. Now it's your turn. So we went back and forth. Every time I had to go pee, we would do the process over and over again. So I think that helped a ton, which is why we shared in the beginning, having your spouse there, depending on if your toddler is a boy or a girl, is super important, right? Because if we had a little boy, it would just be different for the little boy to watch his mom pee, right? Because he has a different body part. So that's why it's really important to have your spouse there when you're starting this process. If you feel like they're
Thanks
holding...
Thanks for not inviting me, by the way.
Thanks for what?
Not inviting me.
Not inviting you to be a part of potty training?
Yeah.
I was trying to be nice by not making you have to be a part of it, but now I regret that. I freaking wish you were in the trenches with me on day 1 and 2.
You wish a lot of things, but unfortunately they don't always come true. So
let's just say for Leighton, you're going to be in the trenches with me.
Let's just say... Never mind. We're going to keep that comment off of here.
Okay, so if you feel like they're holding it and it's been a few hours and you can tell that they're scared and they don't want to go, this was Lily Grace. Lily held her pee on that first day for there was a time she held it, I think, for 4 or 5 hours on that first day. I think it was 6
hours.
The second day was 6 hours.
Second day was 6 hours, you're right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you feel like they're holding it and they really need to go, what I did is I said, okay, it's time to go on the toilet. I was very strict about it. Has been 6 hours. I know that you have to go. You're crossing your legs. You're holding the area. You keep looking down as
she's
if
whining, grabbing her stomach because it hurts.
She's whining. She's grabbing her stomach. She's confused about the feeling. It's really the feeling, I think, that that they have to get used to. So I would basically say, okay, it's time to go. And of course, Lily's throwing a tantrum. So I immediately get her on. I hug her. That's the first thing that I do to just calm her down and just, okay, calm down. Give her a book, give them a toy, help them relax. And then, you want to hopefully see that they release. And if they don't, which Lily didn't, those first few days, she held it for a very long time. I said, okay, Lily, your choice is that you are not going to go on the toilet. So if Mommy sees you start to pee, I'm going to be rushing you to the toilet. So that first day, when I was watching her, we were right in the playroom on the tile floor. I had no carpet around, so she couldn't pee on carpet or rug or anything. We literally played with blocks on the tile, and I had no underwear on at this point. So at this point, when I knew it was almost time to go, I was just watching her because I knew the second that she looked down, it was about to start coming out. So every single time she looked down and I would know it was about to release, I said, okay, we're going to the toilet. And I would just pick her up and I'd run her to the toilet. Did she ever go on the toilet on that first day? No. The second I took her off the toilet, she'd start to pee on the floor. But what did I do? I kept repeating the process. The second she started to pee, I'd pick her up and put her on the toilet over and over and over and over again. that's just what we did. Is that the best strategy? I don't know, but that's what worked for us on the first day to just help her understand pee goes on the toilet, not on the floor. So Lily had a lot of accidents, right? When they have accidents, because they're going to have a lot. Like Lily had 15 the first day. I think the next day was 10. Every day it just got a little bit better. One day we regressed on Friday when you were here, regressed a little bit, and she held it a very long time, and we had a lot of accidents. But every time they have an accident and you start to see that they have to go, I would say to Lily, no, hold your pee. Let's go to the potty. So every single time that I started to see she was releasing, I'd say that, and I'd rush them to the potty. I would grab Lily's hand when she had an accident in her underwear, and I'd have her feel the wetness. So I'd say, look, this is wet. I'd have her touch it, right? She'd pull back because she's like, oh, like, what is this? And I'd be like, wet, no. I'd say very simple, just like direct words of like, no, we don't pee in our underwear. No pee in the underwear. So you just make it very clear and concise for them to understand. Wet is no. Dry is good. Dry is yes. So I kept saying to her, you see how this is dry? Yes, we want to keep our underwear dry. Do you see how this is wet? No, we don't want it to be wet. So I kept doing that through every single accident. It was touching it so she could feel it, and then explaining it over and over and over again that it has to stay dry. And then I would have Lily take her underwear to the washer. I'd say, okay, go take your underwear to the washer. And then we're going to go get a clean pair. And then we'd put new underwear on. And then we have to go clean up the mess. So I'd give her spray. I'd give her paper towels. And I'd say, clean up your mess. And so she'd start wiping it up. The first day she was like, what are you making me do? And then by like the third day, she would do it all on her own. Yeah. And she would know that, okay, I got to clean up my mess.
Poor girl. I remember when you started that with me when I first started like beard trimming, and you were like, Hunter, this is what we're going to do. Take the napkin, wipe the counter. Got to get your little hair.
Get it out the freaking sink. Even though it's your sink, I don't want to look at it.
Still to this day, I don't listen. I do what I want.
Yeah, you do. And I get very annoyed about
I'm just kidding. It's
beard
not
hairs
that
in
bad.
the sink.
I'm pretty good.
Yeah, you're okay.
I've gotten better. You've trained me over and over and over again.
I have. Repetition.
Yeah.
It matters for 25-year-old men, and it matters for toddlers.
Yeah, well, not just 25-year-old men.
All men.
Exactly. Wow.
All men, any age. We have to repeat the process, okay? So you're going to repeat the process with your toddler over and over and over again. And do not say words like, ew, gross, like whenever they have an accident or they poop. And don't scold them or spank them or show anger. If you do that, they're going to be so scared to then like successfully listen to you and then actually go on the toilet. So try to gently, say, no, we don't pee in our underwear. So you obviously have to tell them no and be firm and walk them through the process, but then you're just going to move on from it. So
that's probably the hardest part in our marriage, like the way you have to communicate with me, like to do things.
I've gotten a lot of practice with Lily by being married to you.
Yeah, you're like, well, let me be patient, let me be calm. Mm-hmm. She's just like Hunter. He doesn't take it well if I yell. So
you have to have a lot of patience in marriage, just like you have to have a lot of patience to be a parent. And when you're potty training, you have to like 100x that patience.
Yeah.
Because you're going to want to give up. I texted Hunter that first day a picture of me crying, and I said, I don't think our kid is going to be capable of doing this. Like, she's dribbling all over the floor. It's not registering. She's not understanding. And I was like, I just think that we need to bring back diapers. And right when I texted that, I was like, no. All of the moms that have been through potty training have told me, you're going to want to quit on day 1 or day 2 and day 3. Don't do it. Stay consistent. And it's just like anything in your life, right? When you do something super hard, you want to quit because you're like, this sucks. I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But I just want to encourage you guys that it gets easier. It is so hard that first day and that second day. And again,
the fourth day is really easy. I mean, I wasn't there for day 1, day 2, or day 3. But fourth day, easy.
Because I went through the grind on day 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so let's talk about naps and nighttime sleep because it's pretty self-explanatory. Continue to put them in a diaper for naps and nighttime sleep because obviously they're sleeping, so they're probably going to go.
Yeah, day 4, by the way, this actually isn't funny. I mean, it is funny, but not really. She pooped in her diaper, took it off, and stepped all in it and walked everywhere around her room. So that's how it was the first day I was there.
Yep, it was. Hunter had to... Oh, and he also mowed over his cell phone at the same exact time that was happening.
Time of that. Oh, they don't know about that.
Yeah, they do if they follow me on Instagram. Most of them do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that's true.
So at the same time my husband was having an accident, my toddler was having an accident.
Yeah, and Sam's like, do not ruin your phone again. And we've done this for 7 years, and it just, I continue to do it.
So what we're trying to get at here is Hunter is also a toddler that I'm having to train.
Short attention span. Like, I have selective hearing. You can go down the list.
You know what? At least you don't still use diapers. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, that you know of, right? Like.
Okay, so just still use diapers while they're having naps and nighttime sleep. And again, if they poop right during their nap or their nighttime sleep, you're going to take it immediately to the toilet, set them on it, put the poop in the toilet, and show them the process to clean themselves. You want them to get familiar with cleaning themselves. Even though it's exhausting, it's hard, just continue to do that process. So right when they wake up from their nap, you're going to do that and make it just very exciting. Like it's time to go to the toilet. All right. So day 1 sucked so bad. Okay. So on day 2, here are just some tips for what you can do based off how your day 1 goes. Okay. So on day 2, I dropped the timers. I didn't do timers because what I noticed towards the end of day 1 is how many tantrums she was throwing when the timer was going off. It wasn't becoming this like simpler process as the day went on. It was becoming like, Mom, I don't have to pee right now, but you're forcing me to have to go. So on day 2, I dropped the timers. If you feel like the timers worked well on day 1, you can keep them. I dropped them for day 2. And instead of doing timers, I drank a lot of water myself, like I shared with you guys on day 1, and I made a huge deal about every time I had to go to the bathroom. So instead of making her go when the timer went off every 30 minutes, it was about every hour and a half when I had to go. It was, Mommy has to go use the toilet, so come with me. It's going to be Mommy's turn and then your turn. And then it kind of changed Lily's mindset to, instead of being like stuck on the timers, it was, I'm just going to go now with Mommy. Mommy has to go. Now it's my turn to go. I kept asking over and over and over again on day 1, day 2, every single day. Lily, do you need to use the toilet? Lily, do you need to use the toilet? About every 5 minutes. It was just a part of my everyday. Even when Hunter got home from work, he saw me like constantly asking her and reminding her, when you need to use the toilet, tell Mommy. When you need to use the toilet, tell Daddy. So it was
and
like.
Don't forget, our 2-year-old says no to everything. So like, she's probably going to say no every single time, but when we noticed is when, as soon as we'd say, do you need to use the toilet? And she had to, she would actually start going towards that direction. Or she would look down. Yep. And that's when we were like, okay, you need to go to the toilet. Let's go.
So she wasn't saying yes.
Yeah. No, I don't think she said yes once.
She doesn't say yes. She still doesn't say yes. When we say.
She just doesn't answer, I think, now.
Yeah. She
won't
just
say no.
knows and she'll go straight to the toilet. Mm-hmm. When we say, do you need to go to the toilet? If she does, she'll just go.
Yep.
But on those first few days, it was no. But no could have actually meant yes. So you just have to know your toddler to know that. But you just have to keep reminding them over and over and over again to tell you or just go. I would tell Lily by day 2 or 3, I was like, if you need to go to the toilet, just go. Like, don't even tell me, just go. Like, we're just going to go that direction. If they show any signs that they have to go, crossing their legs, holding, looking down, immediately just take them, even if like they didn't come to you or they didn't say they had to go, take them and say, okay, it's time to use the potty. You're showing me that you have to go. So every time Lily would show a sign, it was, I'm not asking you if you need to go. It's not a question. It's we're going because you're showing a sign. So I think also that is super important is when you see the signs, don't ask them, do you need to go? Just take them.
Yeah, that's what I feel about golf. Like anytime you notice me with my head down and you're like, do you need this right now? Just take me. Just take me golfing. Or just say, go golfing.
I'll remember that.
Just remember that, wives, when you're listening to this. Because you also need to see the signs for your husband. Let's not forget about your spouse here. You know?
Okay. I mean, this is still a couples podcast.
Yeah.
Even though we're talking about potty training.
Yeah. I haven't been golfing in 3 months, by the way, everyone listening. I did go on my birthday, but I only had to play half a round.
Whoa. You just forgot that I planned a whole golfing trip on your birthday?
Yeah, well, we played half a round because you quit on me for like half the other round.
It was so hot outside. I was dying. You were dying too.
It wasn't real golf. I don't count that as real golf.
Wow. I'm offended.
It's okay.
All right. So if there's a single man listening to this podcast, because I think it's all women probably listening to a potty training, take my husband golfing.
I believe in
Apparently, he hasn't been in 3 months.
My fellow men. They are listening to this because they want to.
I hope so.
They want to surprise their wife when they're out of town one weekend with a fully potty trained child.
Honestly.
Like when you come back on September 11th, Layton potty trained. She's going to be walking. She's going to be
Hunter,
jumping.
she's not even going to be 3 months old.
She's going to
Let's
be.
slow down.
She's going to be going crazy.
Let's slow down. She's not even going to be 3 months old.
She's going to be going crazy.
That's a great point. All of the men listening to this, which there's probably none, but
talk about a heck of a Mother's Day gift.
Your husband to listen to this with you so that Hunter can tell them that a great Mother's Day gift.
Absolutely.
Or
tell them
gift.
to listen so that when I bring up the golf part, you can be like, ignore that.
Okay, back to potty training. Lily had her first little pee on day 2. Like a little pee. It was a little trinkle. She looked down. She went. It wasn't a full release, but we made a huge deal about it. Okay, so day 1, no pees at all in the toilet. All accidents. Day 2, all accidents besides one little pee, but it wasn't a full release. So made a huge deal about that. I think it's all about your mindset as the parent the first few days, that you have to tell yourself that accidents are a good thing. So like literally, it sucks that pee just got everywhere and you got to clean it up with your kid, but tell yourself in that moment, this is good. Why is it good? Because they're understanding to not do this. And if they can learn to not do it, then they will start learning what the process is to do it correctly on the toilet. So shift your mindset to know that accidents are good the first few days. So on day 2, I actually pivoted a little bit because I was noticing Lily was still very much scared of the toilet, holding it, throwing tantrums, and there was barely just a little bit of improvement from day 1. So in the late afternoon, I introduced rewards as an incentive. Because at this point, I realized my daughter needed a little bit of motivation to actually go on the toilet. And you know your child best. So on days 1 and most of 2, I didn't do any rewards. Some people will tell you don't do rewards at all. They shouldn't be rewarded for going on the toilet. And other people will tell you start rewards immediately. To be honest with you, I kind of wish I started rewards from the moment that
we got married.
From the moment that I put her on the toilet, because I think she would have got it much quicker, and I think it was harder without giving her that motivation. And you guys, you don't have to give them the rewards forever. Here we are now.
On day 10.
We don't give her anything now.
No rewards.
We haven't given it to her in days. She doesn't get a gummy. She doesn't get a sticker anymore. So if your kid is going to, you think, ask for it forever, then maybe don't do rewards. But if your kid is going to forget about it, then do rewards, okay? And that was our kids. So I didn't do rewards the first day and a half, but I started adding it in, and I truly believe that it started to help, because what I did is I rewarded myself when I went, because I modeled for her. So when mommy would go, now instead of just making a big deal out of it, it was mommy gets a gummy and a sticker. And I'd look at Lily and say, do you want a gummy and a sticker? Okay, then when you have to pee, we're going to pee on the toilet. And it started to click that day 2 when I was getting a gummy and a sticker and she wasn't. And she was noticing mommy's peeing and she gets it, so I want to get it. So then day 3 came around and we had the gummy and the sticker, and Lily had her first full release. And that was like the first day that was like successful, where she had a full pee. She held it. She peed. It was a huge deal. And she also had a little poop in the toilet. So that was a big day because she had a full release and a little poop. It wasn't a full poop release, but it was a little bit. And she still had an accident that day. She had one big accident. But when she woke up from her nap, I took her to the toilet and she had a full release after her nap. So like day 3, we like turned the page completely, and it was like an amazing day. I remember texting you and being like, oh my gosh, like,
big
okay,
steps
I'm
here.
so glad I didn't give up.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I didn't bring diapers back, and she was getting some rewards. So day 4 came around, and Hunter is now home with us. So why don't you kind of tell people, like, when you got thrown into the mix on day 4 that Friday morning, how you kind of just like jumped into it, and what you noticed in Lily when you started doing it instead of me.
Yeah, I mean, to start with, waking up that morning, you're like, go grab her, take her diaper off, and go straight to the bathroom, show her everything, show her where the trash is so she can throw away her diaper, show her what's inside the diaper and everything. And right away, I'm just like, this is a lot. Like, I have so much respect for you for doing this by yourself. Seriously, like, all jokes aside, like, you seriously did amazing. I'm so happy for you. I always get emotional when I compliment you with anything. Like, anything. Anyways,
maybe you don't do it enough.
Thank you. No, I do it plenty of times.
You do. I love you for that.
But seriously, thank you. You did amazing. But right away, I'm just like, this is a lot. Like, got to do all of this. Then I got to get underwear on her, and then got to put her on the toilet, take her off, reward her if she goes to the bathroom. But it just wasn't easy right away. So then, we go throughout the day. It's always asking, always paying attention.
Oh my gosh.
I think that was probably the biggest thing, because I think sometimes, like, obviously I get on my phone, or there's sports on, or there's something going on. As soon as you take your eyes off, that's when they want to go to the bathroom. So,
and I noticed that on the first 3 days, just to point that out.
Yeah.
It's so true what Hunter is saying. I was barely on my phone the first 3 days. Like, I was so unplugged because I wanted to watch her. If I was distracted for a second, that's when she would start to go, because she knew I wasn't watching her anymore. And that's when she would have the most accidents, is when we were distracted.
Yep. So, yeah, I couldn't. Like, I think the first time she actually had an accident that morning, before we were going. No, we actually ended up not going anywhere,
we had
right?
to stay home because I told you I was
Yeah,
like,
because
Hunter,
she wouldn't go to the restroom.
She held it. We
were planning to go to the pool.
Oh my gosh, I got
yes,
so
do you remember
sad.
that day? I remember it now.
So sad.
So Sam was ready to get out of the house. So we were going to go to the
I'd
pool.
been in the house for 3 days.
Yeah, so we were going to go to the pool. We usually leave for the pool around 10 o'clock. So it's allowing Lily to wake up 3 hours to be awake, to have a whole cup of water, to have her breakfast. Like, she is building up enough stuff to be able to go to the restroom.
Right.
And so 10 o'clock rolls around. She doesn't go. We're like, we'll wait 30 minutes. If she doesn't go, we'll just go to the pool. Well, she didn't go. And then Sam was like, no, we're not going to the pool yet. She needs to go to the restroom. So I'm like, all right, we wait till 11. Doesn't go. Now we're cutting into the time of being able to go to the pool, because she's got to eat by 12 and be down for a nap by 1.
Yeah.
She ends up not going. I think before her, I think it was before lunch. She didn't go, right? Excuse me.
Nope.
She didn't go before lunch, and then lunch happened, and I can't remember. Did she have an accident right before? I think she had an accident right before.
She literally had an accident right before nap time.
And we tried to go to the restroom multiple times.
We had literally been in the bathroom for 30 minutes. Like, Lily, you've held your pee now for 5.5 hours. Yeah. So you need to go before nap time. Yeah. And I told Hunter, she's not going down for a nap without
going to the bathroom.
And then 1 comes around and she still hasn't gone. And I'm getting so frustrated because I'm like, I know she has to go. She's showing all the signs, but she's just not going.
She's being stubborn. So she ends up having an accident. And so we're like, all right, it is what it is. Like,
yep. And then we just put
it
her
happens.
down.
It is what it is. So we put her down. And then the nap happened. So now it's been a very frustrating morning. And I mowed over my phone during this time. So that was fun. Sam came outside ready to she was like, you know what? It's a new day. It's 1 p.m.
Hunter and I just had an argument right before he goes out mowing. So I'm just like.
Because I'm like, why don't we just go to the pool? Like, if she pees in the pool, whatever. Like, we all do that.
Hunter was like, we're going to go. And I said, Hunter, I have been grinding this out for 3 days. I'm not allowing her to digress and go backwards. Because day 3 was so good. And then day 4, we totally backtracked. And I was like, if she goes to the pool, it's like we're rewarding her for not peeing on the toilet, and I'm not allowing that. So I was like crying. I was upset because I'd been inside for 3 days. I was looking forward to it. Hunter's just like, now having
I'm
to
just
go
a man. I'm
lawn.
just like, relax.
Yeah.
That's not something you should say, by the way, to your wife when she's upset. But I was like, just relax. We'll go tomorrow.
But he goes to mow the lawn.
Whatever. Yeah, so I was like, I'll just go mow the lawn.
And I'm like, okay, the day's not over. I'm going to change my attitude and go outside and watch
my
Hunter
husband,
mow
my
the lawn.
husband, just
so
mow the lawn. So I go sit
outside while Hunter's mowing the lawn. And me and Leighton are out there maybe 2 minutes. And then we hear this crazy cracking sound. And Hunter comes over to me and goes, Sam, I just mowed over my cell phone. And I just start laughing. I literally start laughing. And I'm like, Hunter, laugh. Because if you don't laugh, you're probably going to rage or cry or get pissed off.
Cry?
I'm going to cry for you. So I had to laugh. And I just went inside and I just totally brushed it off. Yeah. I was just like, listen, lesson learned, like whatever. It's an accident. It happened. And Lily, at that same exact moment, wakes up from her nap 45 minutes early, doesn't even have a good nap, takes her diaper off, smears poop all over the floor, and Hunter
steps in it, walks everywhere.
At this point is inside. He's like, I'm going to go shower, and then we're going to figure out my phone situation. Hunter gets out of the shower, and he's like, I'll go get Lily and go lay her back down. Hunter opens the door and screams my name. Sam, there's poop all over the floor.
Do you know anything about me? I don't do well with smells, and that room smelled so bad. And I was like, Sam, I can't right now. Like, I'll grab her and take her to the toilet, but you got to help me with this cleaning up.
So I've got Leighton, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Hunter just smelled over his phone. Now there's poop all over the floor. My daughter hasn't had a good nap. She held her pee for 6 hours. Like, just everything had went wrong. And anyways, we turned a leaf that afternoon. Hunter got fat burger and milkshakes for us and came home, and it was awesome. And we
Lily went pee at night.
Lily did.
She actually went pee, and she went poop probably like 5 times because like we took a bath, and when she went to the bath, I was like, do you need to go to the toilet? Yep. She'd lift her arms up because she needed me to help her. Help her get to the toilet, and she went to the bathroom.
Basically, on that Friday, Hunter did almost every toilet break with Lily. Yeah. He was the one leading it to help her get comfortable with having daddy help.
Not to mention, it's something I can
learn. Yeah. Like, because Hunter needed to learn. I had just done it for 3 days, and he wanted to give me a break. So it was like multi-benefit. So that was Friday. Lots of stuff happened on Friday, and that was day 4. Day 5, we in the morning decided that Hunter and Lily were going to stay home, and I was going to have an outing with Leighton. So I went out with Leighton. Hunter stayed home with Lily. And she peed on the toilet with Hunter. She had one accident with you, and that was it. She had a great Saturday. We went to the beach, and she actually held her pee in the car
all the way to the beach. We got dinner.
She probably peed in the water at the beach. I don't
even know if she did because she was with us
But she held it on the way home. She drank a ton of water at the beach because it's hot, so she's hydrating the whole time. She held it till we got home, peed right before bedtime, went down. Sunday rolls around. This is day 6. And this is our first outing to, like, not a beach or somewhere that she could pee in the water. So this is like, I'm a little nervous because this is like church. This is there's not a toilet in the classroom. They have to be walked. There's a lot of parts to navigate. So I explained to the teachers, Lily is potty training. She's probably not going to tell you when she needs to go. So you just need to keep asking her. And you just need to offer it like every, 30 minutes. Service is like an hour-ish, hour 15. So I had taken Lily right before. I actually bought this little seat that is a travel portable fold like seat that you put on adult seats.
Which she has. You're talking about that. I thought you were talking about our current little.
No, not the car potty. Okay, I have a little car potty for road trips for emergencies that we're going to get more comfortable with. We're still working on that.
She hasn't done that one yet.
She hasn't gone on the car potty. But car potty is great to offer before you go in somewhere. But I brought the little toilet seat thing. I'll put a link to this in the show notes. So anyone that wants the stuff that we use for potty training, brought that to church, offered for her to go. She wouldn't go. And I expected, now this is step 2 of potty training, is getting them comfortable to pee in unfamiliar places. Because every bathroom is going to be different. They're going to have to get used to the stimulation of every single new space. And she has not gone yet in any public place. She has chosen to hold it. But even though she's chosen to hold it, she's waited until we got home. So if that's her choice and she wants to hold it till we get home, that's fine. But at church that day, she didn't go. I knew she was going to have to go right around 11:30, which is when she was in class. And the teacher said she actually queued to go and went to the door, and the teacher was like, do you need to go potty? And Lily's like trying to get out of the classroom. But at that moment, the other teacher had taken another kid that was potty training that was a boy to the toilet. Lily couldn't leave because the teacher had to stay with the other kids. And Lily ended up going right there at the door. So she had an accident. She had to get cleaned up. But what that told me is that I actually think she would have gone if the teacher would have been able to leave and go take her. So that would have been a huge win. So anyways, she had one accident on Sunday and then no other accidents. And then this past week, over the past basically 5 Monday. Days since Monday, I think she had one accident on Monday or Tuesday when I was FaceTiming with, it was either my dad or my mom, and I was distracted and she had to go. And anytime that I'm not fully zoned in on her, when it's around that time and I'm not asking or cueing, she'll have an accident. So she had one accident though in the past 5 days.
It's amazing.
And we're not even 2 weeks into this. So that has been our journey over the past 12 days since starting potty training. And wow, we just covered a lot. Did I miss anything?
No, I don't think you missed one thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think we went like step by step, really what to do and how to start this process. There's a ton of resources and even potty training classes you could get like over on Instagram. You can Google things. Whatever process you choose to do, like, it doesn't matter. I mean, the other most popular potty training method is let your kid be naked for like a weekend and just run them to the toilet every time.
Which you actually tried that. You did try that on the second day, and it ended up not going well for you.
It actually was worse for me because
she held it. That was the day. That was when she held it. Whenever she was
cold,
naked.
because she's naked in the house. She's cold. She held it, and when she had to go, she was dribbling all over the place because they don't have underwear on. I actually prefer the underwear method. One, because it contains the pee way more.
Makes them feel very
Two,
uncomfortable.
They feel very uncomfortable.
Yeah. How could they be uncomfortable peeing or pooping if there's nothing there to hold it?
Right.
That
so
would
they
be
can't feel it.
Honestly, like for me, like I was saying, when I have a son, Big Daddy style, like, dog, go anywhere you would like, you know? Like, you got to learn, right? Like, right there outside the restroom, you know, if you want to go to the backyard. Hey, as long as there's no 2-story buildings around us, go after it, man.
Wait, are you for real?
Not really, but maybe. So, anyways, it was a journey. I mean, potty training's a journey, and I'm excited to do it whenever we have a boy. I think that's going to be a whole different ball game.
You got it, bro.
And I think what we're going to do is I'm going to go on a work trip that week, and we're going to allow you.
You're going to take him with you?
No, yeah, he's going to stay with you.
You got it.
What I'm going to do is do that. I think that's the way to go.
Yeah, no, that's all you, bro. You're going to potty train
We're
our
excited. If we have a son. I don't know if we'll have a son. We'll see.
God willing.
When that day comes.
But thank you guys for tuning in to the potty training episode. We hope that this was very informative, educational, and you had a lot of laughs.
Yeah.
Thanks to Hunter.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
The jokester over here.
Yeah. I don't know how good they were, but it's something.
They were fun.
I was here to listen because I didn't get to really hear the whole journey.
Like the whole process.
Yeah, so I actually got to learn a lot myself. So,
yeah. Whatever method you choose to do, it's just about doing it and being consistent. Do not give up. Stay the course. Just like with anything in life, it's so hard. It's the hardest thing by far I've done since becoming a parent. This was the hardest thing, and any parent I talk to will agree with me. And you can decide at what age you want to start it, but if they're showing the signs of readiness, if you want to stop paying for diapers and just go do it, I truly think a lot of the times it comes down to the parent. I had a lot of moms actually message me on Instagram when I was starting, and they were like, "What are you doing?" And they were like, "She's not ready." And I'm like, okay, well, first off, she's my child. But secondly, even if she's not showing signs of readiness, I think a lot of the times it comes down to the parent. It really does, because you can allow your kid to be in diapers until they're 3.5 if you wanted to.
Yeah.
They may never show signs of readiness. So it's like, while Lily's showing a little bit of signs, and maybe she's not communicating that well because she's not that old, I just wanted to take upon myself to teach her, and look, we did it. And here we are. So I just want to encourage you to stay the course and go for it. Use these tips. Share this with another mom that's in this season. And we hope you got a lot of fun laughs from this episode.
Yeah.
And we release new podcast episodes every other Monday. So make sure you subscribe here on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You'll get notified when an episode drops, so that you can just stay plugged in.
And so if you are listening right now, if you guys can, like if you listen to this every single week and you guys love this, if you can, go to our YouTube and listen. That's what we're really trying to grow right now. So we want you guys to listen there more than Apple
Podcasts.
or Spotify or whatever other ones that you listen to. If you can go to YouTube, you don't have to watch us. But if you could go there and maybe listen and just, listen through there. And then you could subscribe. You can like the video, and we can grow that platform a little bit more, and that'll help support us more. So
and we're always open to feedback. We would love to hear your feedback from an episode, something that helped you, something that stuck out to you, maybe questions that you have, or ideas for future episodes. You can send us a DM over on Instagram at Life with the Lizenbees, and we will get back to you there, and are just super grateful for all the love, all the support, and in just any way that this podcast has blessed you, let us know, because that encourages us to keep coming out with just fun, cool, different podcast ideas. So
absolutely. Well, thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you later.
See you in the next episode.
Later.